I imagine it has to come as a surprise when James comes to you and tells you he wants you to play Jake and Neytiri's daughter in this movie. So what would you say is the biggest difference between your first impression of Kiri when he first pitched the role to you and who she turned out to be as you dug into her for the finished film?
Well, in fact, we had lunch, Jim and I, in LA in 2010, and we just started talking about maybe a girl that was related somehow to Grace, but we didn't really know how, who was more comfortable in the forest with the creatures and with the flora and fauna than she was with people, and that she would be around 13 or 14, and that she would not be a fighter. So we talked about all these things, but I was absolutely amazed when he sent me the script and he had, elaborated on all these different things, and especially the relationship with Spider was not something we talked about, that she would have this best friend, and I had friends like this because I was this tall when I was 11, and I used to sometimes see me with my best friend like walking by a shop window, because I live in New York, and I'd go, oh, I'm so much taller. And so when you see the movie and you see that Kiri's like 7 feet tall, and Jack is, Spider is like, I don't know, comparatively much shorter. And we don't see that. I don't see that he's human. He doesn't see that I'm Na'vi. Maybe he'd like to be Na'vi. So I love that friendship. And I think it's an important relationship for the saga.
I enjoyed that connection quite a bit. There is obviously a connection to Grace as well, and even though Kiri didn't get to grow up with Grace in her life, are there any particular qualities of Grace's that you thought were important to infuse in Kiri so that we could feel the connection in addition to just hearing that it's there?
I think that she does spend time in the lab and with Grace's tapes. Neytiri is a wonderful mother, but I think she has a strong connection with Grace and gets as much out of those videos as anyone possibly could. I think she shares the same joy in the nature of Pandora and the same curiosity and the same... She's much more, I think, instinctive than Grace was, because Grace was sort of cut in half between the intellectual scientist that had to do stuff at base and this free spirit who was out, who loved the culture and the people. So, she's sort of the best of Grace without the smoking.
I know you can't give me this answer, but I'm just curious if you know it. Do you know the truth of Kiri's conception?
No.
Okay. I was just curious. All right, I'll wrap with this one, because I caught a quote that you had said about working with James again, and you said he always asks you, is there something we haven't tried that you would like to do? So can you give me an example of a creative swing that was important for you to take because he asked you that question?
Well, for one thing, when I saw the sketches of Kiri, she was this perfect girl with a band in her hair and very composed, very neat, very Neytiri-like, and I said to Jim, I don't think most 13, 14-year-old girls feel like that, look like that. I don't think Kiri could dream of being like Neytiri, who's so powerful, who's so beautiful, who's so perfect. She doesn't feel perfect. She feels like, I'm good with Spider, I'm good in the forest, but the rest of it, she's trying to figure out who she is, who her father is, how she belongs in this world, why she feels so different from other people, and so I think that I think I wanted her physical being to reflect this chaos and this sort of seesaw of emotions that she felt, from great joy to great feelings of injustice, and all those things you feel when you're 14.
I want to learn so much more about her right now. Congratulations.